Hi everyone, this is Mike Lewandowski coming to you tonight actually with another video. Today's featured early church saint is Saint John Chrysostom. Information on John Chrysostom comes to us today from the Catholic Encyclopedia at www.newadvent.org. John Chrysostom was born around the year 347 in Antioch, Syria, and the city of Antioch in the 4th century was considered the second city of the Roman Empire. John's father, who was an officer in the army, died shortly after his birth. His mother at first educated him and then sent him to some of the most prestigious schools in Antioch. And as a young man, during this time of his education, John became friends with Bishop Meletius. And this particular bishop greatly influenced him. In fact, 3 years after meeting the good bishop, John was baptized and he was ordained as a lector in the church. But John was very passionate about his faith and he wanted to really live a life of perfection. So he pursued the religious life. He even lived outside of the city of Antioch in a cave, spending his time in prayer and fasting. However, due to health reasons, he was forced to go back into the city and resume his position as a lector. In 381, he was ordained a deacon. 386, he was ordained a priest. And in the year 397, the Bishop of Constantinople, which is present-day Istanbul, passed away. The Roman Emperor himself summoned John Chrysostom and wanted him to be made bishop of that prestigious diocese. John was ordained in 398 and became the Bishop of Constantinople. Now, Constantinople was pretty much the main center of so many things in the Roman Empire. So many important people lived there. It was a place of prestige. It was a place of fame. It was a rapidly growing city. But as a result of all this prestige, there was a lot of reforms that were needed. And John set out on a campaign of reform. And of course, reform could rub a lot of people the wrong way. John was not afraid to oppose the empress. He also opposed the imperial commander, who was an Arian, who demanded that one of the churches in the city be given to him. He absolutely refused. And it was actually in the year 403 that John was preaching a sermon about vanity among certain women. And this sermon was reported to the empress. And it was reported in such a way that she was made to believe that the sermon was directed at her. Well, she wanted to take action. And it was a lot of different things came together for her to do so. A certain bishop named Theophilus of Alexandria, he came to Constantinople and he came to apologize to the bishops for an earlier problem in the church. But he arrived and he actually gained the favor of a number of people and officials. And they actually drew up charges against John Chrysostom. These charges were laughable. But in the year 404, this led to his exile. Now, when news reached the Pope in Rome, he cut off communion with Constantinople and he took John's side. But he was powerless against this onslaught of really just evil that was taking place in the East. It was then decided in the year 407 that John was to be exiled to the farthest corner of the Roman Empire. So 2 soldiers were sent to basically guide him there, and they made sure that he suffered terribly. Finally, on September 14th, on the morning of September 14th, John said that he was too weak to travel, and they made him march anyway. They soon realized that he was weak, and they had to stop, but he shortly died. And his last words were, "Glory be to God for all things." I really hope you enjoyed this video, and please look forward to another very soon.